So there are probably about 85,000 other games that are better to talk about this week, but I feel like talking about the Falcons and Panthers because I want to, and I don't care. You can hate me on me in the comments, but that's your problem. Okay, anyways, so I think it's really impressive the fact that the Falcons are becoming more of a threat, and it is really terrifying to see, because I was following the game and I went back and watched the highlights, and it is, holy cow, they almost had two running backs hit the century mark for rushing yards. One of them did. That was Tyler Algier, 25. Awesome guy. Awesome rushing guy. Bijan Robinson, 95 yards. 5 yards away from the century mark. And he had 2 touchdowns. Algier had 1. And Kirk Cousins put on a pretty decent performance. 19 for 30. 225 passing yards. 1 touchdown. I think his passer rating was around 97. It should be on the screen now, what you're seeing. Certainly not as good as last week's performance for him, but it is very hard to top 509 passing yards with 4 touchdowns. Let's see. Andy Dalton was, well, Andy Dalton. But I'd say probably about midway through the second quarter, and, well, actually just throughout the game until about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the Falcons were making Andy Dalton look like prime Tom Brady. That was really crazy. And, I mean, the Panthers are promising in the loosest translation. I mean, they have a lot of problems. I mean, like, it is a mountain of problems. But I'll say this. I mean, their rookie receiver, I don't remember his name, and Deontay Johnson were looking really good against a Falcons secondary that had no help from their defensive line. I mean, if you told me the Falcons weren't going to get any sacks against the Carolina Panthers, I would have been shocked. And the fact that they didn't makes me more shocked. I mean, we knew their line was bad, but holy cow, what in the world? No sacks against the Panthers? Okay, you have 5 sacks in 6 games. You really need to start looking for somebody, Falcons. Like, I know the Max Crosby stuff that they've been linked to is way out there. That is probably never going to happen. But they got to do something to fix their pass rush. This is just abysmal. They let Chuba Hubbard run on them, but, I mean, he's a pretty good runner in himself. Who was it? Miles Sanders only had 1 yard on 3 attempts, so that's good on their part, but I'd say maybe he's washed. I don't know. The Falcons actually eventually pulled off an interception. AJ Terrell hadn't done that, since like 2021? And Clark Phillips almost had a pick 6. I'm still questioning why he didn't go into the end zone all the way after seeing the highlights, but I mean, I guess he just wanted to kneel out the clock. But if you're rivals, I mean, if I'm coaching, nah, he should have gone all the way, man. This is your rival. Beat him up. Beat him up, man. I mean, this is the Panthers we're talking about. You gotta make them look bad. I mean, oh, man. And then there was the receiving game. Who knew that throwing the ball to Kyle Pitts would actually do your offense good? I never would have guessed. I mean, seeing all his highlights in Florida, I would certainly never throw him the ball, ever. Especially when you need to. No. 3 receptions, 70 yards. No. I would never. 7 receptions for... No, it was 8 receptions for 87 last week. I watched that game. That was exciting. And that was really crazy, honestly, in my opinion. But, yeah, they're certainly starting to pick up speed. If they can get their defense under control, this is this is reminiscent of the 2016 Falcons, and we know how that turned out because their defense decided to not show up in the second half of a certain Super Bowl against a certain quarterback who shall not be named. I'd say that you definitely need to get that under control if you want to be serious playoff contenders. You're probably going to make the playoffs. I give the Falcons I mean, anything's possible. I mean, looking at their schedule ahead, they've got the Seahawks, the Buccaneers, they play the Cowboys, and they play the Saints at some point in this all over again. I'd say they've got like a 63-64% chance of making it. If they can beat the Seahawks and come away with a win, like if they can win 2 out of their next 3 games, that'll probably go up to 70%, but I'm not going to jinx that fan base because through a lot. And yeah, so I'll say this, I think the Falcons deserve to make the playoffs this year, but I'm not, again, we are about a third of the way through the season now, and I don't want anybody to come and get really excited about their team until I'm for sure about it. But I say their chances are looking pretty good. I wanted to mention the Falcons, the return game was pretty decent. I know that nobody really talks about that stat line. And again, I just want to praise Deontay Johnson for his great performance against the Falcons and putting up some good numbers against a very strong secondary. That's A.J. Terrell. You've got, oh yeah, Nate Landman was crazy. He forced 2 fumbles. Granted, they never got any of those. But yeah, you've got to play against that. Caden Ellis, Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons. Yeah, that's right, they got Justin Simmons. Yeah, that's impressive that they put up those kind of numbers. 221 yards. I mean, it's hard to come across points in the NFL, so putting up 20 points, congratulations, Panthers. But yeah, this one goes to the Falcons all the way. W Falcons. I don't know if this is a W anymore. This might mean something else, so no, wait, that's peace. Put a W in the chat for the Falcons. And now I want to get to my picks for tonight's game. I like both these teams. I like the Bengals and the Giants. The Bengals broke my heart in the Super Bowl against the Rams. The Giants break my heart every year since Eli Manning's incredible destruction of Tom Brady. Though, granted, you can't really give that to Eli, but whatever. I'd say if the Giants play like they did last week, it could be a toss-up. I'd say maybe like 24-23 Giants or Bengals win that one, but it's highly unlikely, so I'm going to say the Bengals win 26-17 against the New York Giants. And yes, I am recording this before the game takes place. It probably won't come out until after the game, but that's just my pick, and I'm going to see you guys some point this week. I don't know, but we're going to talk some football again, and we might talk a little bit of hockey. Columbus Blue Jackets for life, baby. So yeah, I will see you guys later.